Welcome to this automotive training session. You're watching Divine Drive Automotives, a channel dedicated to explaining motor vehicle, electrical and mechanical systems in a simple, practical, and professional way. On this channel, we break down complex automotive systems into easy-to-understand lessons suitable for students, technicians, instructors, and vehicle owners. In today's session, we will focus on an important automotive topic that plays a key role in vehicle performance, safety, and reliability. You will learn how the system works, the main components involved, common faults, diagnostic procedures, and correct servicing practices used in the automotive industry. These lessons are designed to help you build strong technical knowledge, improve troubleshooting skills, and gain confidence when working on vehicles in real-life situations. If you are passionate about automotive technology, vehicle maintenance, or automotive education, you are in the right place. Before we begin, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with others who want to learn automotive systems. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss future training sessions. Now,
all right, let's get right into it. Today,
lesson.
We're tackling a mission that goes right to the heart of your engine, a complete service guide for the starter motor. We're going to cover everything you need to know, from taking it out to getting it back in and running like new. You know, every time you turn that key and your engine roars to life, you're counting on one little, super powerful component to do its job. But have you ever wondered what that component is and how it pulls off that magic trick every single time? Well, here it is, the hero of the startup sequence, the starter motor. Its job sounds simple, but it is absolutely critical. It's basically a beefy electric motor designed to do one thing: crank your engine over with enough force to kickstart the whole combustion process. No starter motor, no start. It's that simple. So, what's our game plan today? First, we'll lay out the mission. Then we'll cover the essential prep work, safety, and tools. After that, we get our hands dirty with the extraction and takedown. Then comes the fun part, playing detective to find the fault. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with the repair, rebuild, and relaunch. You know, any good job starts with a clear plan. So for the first leg of our mission, let's get crystal clear on what we're setting out to do from start to finish. So here it is, our mission briefing. By the time we're done here, you're not just going to know how to pull a starter out. You're going to understand how to take it apart, piece by piece, spot the common problems, test the guts of it, and put it all back together so it starts perfectly every single time. Okay, let's get into what is probably the most critical part of this whole operation, the prep work. Nailing your safety procedures and getting your tools lined up before you start, well, that's the foundation for a job done right. And this quote right here, it really says it all. You know, trying to save a few minutes by cutting corners on safety, it's just never, ever worth the risk. This isn't a suggestion. It's rule number one in the garage. So let's run through the safety checklist. First and foremost, disconnect the negative battery terminal. Always the negative first. Why? Because the entire metal frame of your car is the negative ground. If you're working on the positive terminal and your wrench touches any metal part, you'll create a huge short circuit. We're talking big sparks and potential damage. Pop that negative cable off and that danger is completely gone. And of course, the other stuff is just as important. Gloves, goggles, make sure the car is secure and the engine is cool. And here's your toolkit for the mission. Having the right gear isn't just about making the job easier, it's about doing it right. Your multimeter is going to be your best friend for diagnosing electrical issues, and a torque wrench is non-negotiable for putting everything back to factory spec. Get this stuff laid out before you even think about turning a bolt. All right, preparation is complete. Now it's time to get our hands dirty. In this section, we're diving into the actual extraction and takedown, getting that starter motor out of the car and onto the workbench with care and precision. Removing the starter really comes down to these 4 steps. We've already covered the battery. Next, label those wires before you take them off. Trust me, you'll thank yourself later. And remember, these things are surprisingly heavy, so make sure you're holding onto it as you loosen that last mounting bolt. Then, it's just a little game of Tetris to wiggle it out. Now stop right there. Before you even think about taking this thing apart, here is a golden pro tip. Grab a marker and draw a line across the different sections of the casing. It seems simple, but it makes reassembly completely foolproof. You'll know exactly how everything lines up. Okay, with the starter on the bench, the takedown can begin. You'll usually start by taking off the solenoid, then undo the long bolts that hold the main body together. As you start pulling out the internal parts like the armature and brushes, be gentle. And the real key to success here?
organization. Lay every single piece out in the order it came off.
So, we have a starter motor in pieces all over our workbench. Now it's time to switch gears and move into phase 4, finding the fault. This is where we put on our detective hats and figure out exactly what went wrong.
So where do we start looking? I mean, a starter can fail for a whole bunch of reasons. But thankfully, there are a handful of common culprits that pop up again and again.
And this table is basically your most wanted list. Worn brushes are probably the #1 cause. They're designed to wear down over time as they make contact with the spinning commutator. Speaking of which, if that commutator is all dirty and burnt, it can't make a good electrical connection. And inside the solenoid, the contacts can get fried, or the plunger can get stuck. These are the first places you should always look.
Now here's one of the most important electrical checks you can do, the armature continuity test. Grab your multimeter, set it to continuity. You should get no connection, no beep, between the commutator segments and the main steel shaft. If you hear a beep, that means there's an internal short circuit. The armature is toast. It's a dead simple go, no-go test.
And here's another awesome practical tip. A lot of the time, a starter is just sluggish because of a bad connection. You can bring a commutator back to life by gently cleaning the copper segments with some fine emery paper. Just polish off that black carbon buildup until it's shiny again. This little step can make a huge difference.
Okay, we've found the faulty part. Now, it's time for the most satisfying phase of the whole mission: repair, rebuild, and relaunch. This is where we bring our starter motor back from the dead.
So this brings up a big question. Should you repair a part or just replace it? Well, here's the deal. Parts like brushes are meant to be replaced. They're consumable. Same with springs that have lost their oomph. If solenoid contacts are badly burnt or pitted, just replace them. A good rule of thumb is, if you're ever in doubt, a new quality part is always the best bet for a repair that's going to last.
Now, before you struggle to get this thing back in the car, you absolutely must do a bench test. Clamp it down tight in a vise. Carefully hook up jumper cables just like this. Then, just for a split second, you're going to use a small wire to jump power from the main positive terminal to the small control terminal. What you want to see is that pinion gear shoot forward and spin fast and strong. This is your proof that the repair worked.
And finally, the moment of truth. Once it's back in the car, these are the signs of a successful relaunch. You're listening for a smooth, fast, consistent cranking sound. The engine should fire up quickly, without any of those awful grinding or whining noises that make you cringe. That clean, crisp start, that's the sound of victory.
And this final thought really sums up the whole philosophy here. A good repair isn't just about swapping out a broken part. It's about taking your time, being clean, and being precise. That's what separates a temporary fix from a professional repair that will last for years.
And there you have it. You've completed the mission. You now know how to diagnose, dismantle, and revive one of the most critical parts of any engine. You've literally brought the spark back to life. So the only question left is, with these skills in your back pocket, what?
We have now reached the end of today's automotive training session. In this lesson, we explored the system in detail by looking at how it operates, the purpose of each major component, and how these components work together to ensure proper vehicle performance. We also discussed common faults, possible causes of failure, and correct servicing or diagnostic procedures used in real workshop environments. Understanding these concepts is very important for anyone studying automotive technology or working with motor vehicles. A clear understanding helps you diagnose faults accurately, avoid unnecessary part replacement, reduce repair time, and improve safety when working on vehicles. Always remember that safety comes first. Before working on any automotive electrical or mechanical system, ensure the vehicle is properly secured, the correct tools are used, and all manufacturer recommendations are followed. This not only protects you, but also prevents damage to vehicle components. If any part of this lesson was not fully clear, I encourage you to rewatch the video, pause where necessary, and take notes. Learning automotive systems is a step-by-step process, and repetition plays a key role in mastering both theory and practical skills. Practical experience, combined with strong theoretical knowledge, will help you become a confident and competent automotive technician. Apply what you have learned today whenever you are in the workshop or studying similar systems. Thank you for taking the time to watch and learn with Divine Drive Automotives. If you found this session helpful, please support the channel by subscribing, liking the video, and sharing it with fellow students, technicians, and automotive enthusiasts. Your support helps us continue creating quality automotive education content. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss future training sessions covering automotive electrical systems, mechanical systems, diagnostics, and servicing procedures. Until the next lesson, keep learning, practice safely, and continue building your automotive knowledge. See you in the next session.